All right, back from the gym, back in the market we go. Tuesday, January 19th. Let's take a look at some stocks here. ACRS, incredible run, incredible. Let's take a look at here. Guys, the market is closed. It's 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Float was 31 million, and this short growth was growing 23%. They had a good market cap, 769 million. Good cash, 55 million. What else? Stock splits 12.88%. Insiders own 27% plus, 44% institutions. That's pretty good. Only 14 million in debt. That's not bad. Now, enterprise value is 210 million. Seems overvalued, but there was great news today, so explains that. Insiders 131 sells, no buys. All right, let's look at Invis. See why this popped today. Some people maybe are at work or they just saw this. I can get my screen up here. This is an awesome run for ACRS. All right, on this, Finviz has minus 57 million income, 37 million float. All right, let's see what happened because there's other moves that just happened too. 7 a.m. positive preliminary top line data from 12-week phase 2A trial of oral ATI 450 for moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. So that was at 7 a.m. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Where do you have this move here? 7:05. So this came out. They immediately put in a big candle, and look at this. Off it went. Now, before we get to the chart, let's see what else happened here. Some other news. That was Simply Wall Street. Or no, that was Global Newswire. Market Watch. Stock Therapeutics more than triples after positive data. Arthritis treatment. They announced public offering 401. Offering. Let's see here. Intends to grant underwriters 30-day option, 50%, 15 public offering. Is there a price on this? Market conditions, common stock, underwritten public offering, to be sold offering, additional 15%. Subject is offering the market conditions, no assurance to whether offering may be completed. 30-day option. All right, I don't see nothing as on that, but that's what happened. It didn't even drop from that, but so the news came out. Yeah, this is a pretty good float, 31 million, whatever you have, and so this is how these stocks run. Came out. Now, did it immediately shoot up? No. Did it, do that? Yes. It's sort of well, these candles, it did shoot up, but not a big candle. That's what I mean. They did many multiple candles here. Look at this. One, two. And then look where you went. You went right to this 10 line. 10 line, and then okay, see what it does. And then it came back and forth. That is a base there. You got the 9 and 10 line going sideways. That is a great move to get in. Preferably you get in 9 in between here. If you see this, you're going by a $1 line. If you make it too tight here, look at that. It's going to be too tight. How can you get in that? You'll be stopped out all over the place. It's way too tight. You can even make it a $2 line if you want. So once we get a 9 right here, look at this. Your 9 line or 975. Great in. Yeah, there's plenty of volume down here. It's not 108,000 is plenty. Then you go up. Look at your next line. Go line to line. Even at the open, very volatile. Came back, touched the 13 EMA, dip. So you dip here, sideways move here, dip here, dip here. Now, like I said before, my screen about right here, that's my middle point. If I get over that, I can be extremely careful because middle below, it's a great time to buy these. And once you start getting to the higher here, see that from low to high, and then what happened? We went sideways, bounced up, tried to double top. Didn't get over that. So you don't want to buy here. You want to buy here, maybe in here, the middle. So there was the run there. That was the 5 minute, the 3 minute. Look at this. Draw your little line, broke above. So you're playing the break. Now, you got to look for things. There's a relatively low float. 30 million, it's a good float. It's not super low or anything, but good enough. And you have news, and this is a top gainer, early pre market. So it fits into a lot of categories. And, traders are going to be looking at that. So that's another reason. 10 minute, look at a straight line up. Now we double top. So, yeah, what's going to happen with this stock? Who knows? They said public offering. Yeah, it made a run all the way up here. So anything can happen between this range. So I have no idea. No one does. But the move was made today. That was the important move for longs. So great move in this stock. Be up. You don't have to trade necessarily pre-market, but you want to see these moves and prepare what your move's going to be. Um, so this is great action to start the week for ACRS. People who are long on fire. And look for patterns. Look for that like consolidation. And there you go. All right, let's go to let's check Dare out. See what this did. All right, Dare, 37 million float, short growth 113%, market cap 97 million, cash kind of low, 5 million. Insiders in 7%, institutions 4%, current debt 860,000. Enterprise value is 40 million. It was overvalued a little bit. Age development of pharmaceutical products, women's productive health. So that is that. Insider buys, you can see there. Oh, and on ACRS, let me just see here. Operates a dermatologist-led biopharmaceutical company. Drugs for medical, aesthetic, dermatology, immunology. So that's what they do. Dermatologist, biopharmaceutical. All right. So back to there. Let's see what Finviz had to say on there. So that minus 22 income didn't show sales, 35 million float. I don't see news on this. January 5th, the last news. It could have been running. Now, when you get stocks running, you get sympathy plays. This could have been that. Unless there's news, I don't really see it. They develop marketing women's products. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. So let's look at this chart today, intraday. This is another low to high move. Look at this right here. 150. The volume 34,000, not the greatest of volume. You want 100,000 blocks. But once this broke up right here, look at that. Then what do you say? Does it go straight up? No, comes down. That's a hammer candle. Hammers at the bottom. And then it's sort of drifting here. So what you have here is over a high day, 180 break. This can break 180. You go higher, and that's what happened. There we go. Didn't even touch the 13. A little bit, maybe right there almost. The whole way up. If your 13's over your 20, remember it's a buy. It's never a sell until you get this. At least this. And it still wasn't a buy because it went to the 20, your second target. Or 13 Ma's, you're like your first army. 20 EMA's, your second army. So, and there it goes. This one's sideways too. Plus, market's on fire. Longs are holding right now. There's going to be a week where longs fade. It's going to do this and come down. Just depends on the market you're in. And the daily on this, you can see this really bottomed here. To the line, you have the 75-cent line, dollar line. I had all kinds of lines on this. Just trying to see here. Going on a monthly, this has had a lot of splits. This formed back in 2014, and it's had actually one split, I think, and it went way down. See that? Try to get put out where we can find numbers here. So looks like this right here. Let's see, where is that line? Looks like this line's a 275 line right here. 275. See if I can go into the daily on this. I can bring it up here. 275. So the 275 line in this is huge. All right, so this came all the way back. You can see 2018, fell below 75, bounced. See that? 275 line. Didn't hold. Didn't hold. And it comes crashing down. Went up towards the middle of this range. Dollar. See, but the low still getting higher. One, two, like three clusters, four. And then today, this really rips on 40 million in volume, which I don't even see news. Consensus indicates potential 237% upside. That was from directors talk interviews. I don't really see any other news on this. So look at that. Look at that big move back and forth. So we have a range pretty much of one now to 275. You want this to go to 275 again and break. See this? You want it to get up and hold and then come back and it'll find support there because that'll be big, big support. So that was a big move on this. Strong move for longs, which I didn't even see news, but who knows, right? If there's news, there's news. All right, GRTS. Let's take a look at this here. Gritstone Oncology, 33 million float. Short growth was down. Market at 1.22 billion. That's very good. 71 million cash. That's not bad. Stock quit 6.56K%. Insiders own 29%. Solid. 54%. Institutions very good. That's not that bad. 25 million. Look at the enterprise value. 195 million, but market cap's 1.2 billion. A clinical stage biotechnology company developing next generation of cancer immunotherapies to fight cancer types. 2015 founded Emeryville, California. Insiders, I don't see much here. All right, so what was the news on this today? Gritstone soars due to Gritstone soars due to progress on COVID vaccine, thestreet.com. Second generation COVID vaccine Coral program support. NAID program has potential to protect against mutant various virus. So that was the news today. TheStreet.com, Global Newswire. That was at 6 a.m. So let's take a look at this one. This really took off. Jesus. 605. So there you go. And what do you have here? You have your line right here. You have 950 line right here. It looks about 750. Trying to see here if this connects. Maybe a little bit lower. What was the line right here? Yeah, 950. And about 750 or 750. All right, so what do you see here? You have to move up, and then you're seeing, yeah, I don't trade before pre-market, like 7 a.m. Um, I try not to even trade pre-market because it's always like fooling you with the moves, not enough volume. But if you do, you can trade whatever you want. But I'm just saying, to be careful. So look at the back and forth here. So you're seeing a pattern, right? You can't break this 950. Touch, touch, touch again. Nope. Then it comes down right here. You want to draw a line close. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly, but I put 750 because it's a major like line. We get a quarter, 50, 75, a dollar. So right at that 50. And then what happened right here? Look at this breakup. Sending triangle tight. Once this breaks this level, you start seeing this. And if you want to get long here, it did have good news, relatively low float. That's your best risk reward. You're looking for that break. They are just going to dump it here with the market this strong. You got to put all the factors together. It did have news. The market's strong. Small caps are on fire. And, this is one of the top gainers in the day. So it was moving. And then back and forth channel play. So channel play will break to the upside or downside. So this was breaking up. Look at it, broke significant number 10. And look what happened here. We went to 14. And then we have another like little bowl here, the U shape. Came down, look where it touched 2013 EMA. Again, that held. And then we took off. I didn't think it was going to do this. This is on the 5 minute. Let's look at the 10 minute. See this? Didn't even come close to the 13 on the 10 minute. That's why right now the market, when you go to the 10 minute, say 15 at most, but that 10 minutes a sweet spot because it's going to be in between, the lower time frames, the higher. You're getting a really good picture of what it's doing here. See, it didn't come down strong or hard. It's just playing the moving averages, a nice little dip. And look how that took off. Man, it's a home run if you caught that. 10, it's an $18 gain. Now up here again is your low move. These are the best moves too. Low to high for longs. And then right about here, remember I said that's my middle point. And so right here, it's still still would have been time to get in as far as how I play it. Once you're up here, that's where danger zone. And that's because too, for you look where you're going. You're going from here to about middle to high. So whatever you run, this is run $20. So why would you want to get in up here? That just doesn't make sense. That's chasing at that point. So GRTS, incredible move. Take these lines out. And I had this map. Now look at this map on the daily. Yeah, this was back in 2018. It formed, went all the way up to 30 plus down. This is another wedge, not super tight. Look what it did. The high getting lower, the low getting lower. And then you had a gap right here, July. Then we went, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5+ months sideways. And it did this little like U. And then I'm trying to see here. Got to like the 3 zone. Look at this 3 line. And then we start to move up. Start to break a little bit. Nothing crazy with the volume here because this volume's so high. And then we're above it. Look, 5, it's floating. Floating about 1320 EMA. And then boom, take off. COVID news. This thing's almost at a high. I mean, this could go back to here. I have no idea. No one does. This is such a big candle. You have a candle of like $20 move. So anything could happen here. It's going to be volatile. They'll probably move it right back here, back and forth. But the range in this now is, get right up here. Looks like this 31 zone. So that's, previous high, a little bit higher, but that's the main bulk of the candle. So there you go on that. Great news, a great long, and that's what you want to see. All right, last one, TENX. All right, last one, TENX. TENX. Float 12 plus million, market cap 29 million, cash 8 million. Stock to it's 588%. No insiders own this really. Institutions 32%. Current debt 334,000. Enterprise value 13 million. All right, specialty pharmaceutical company focused on developing commercialized products for cardiovascular, pulmonary disease, unmet medical need. They have phase 2 clinical and insiders, not much action. See if there's news why this moved today. You remember too when you're trading, I mean, most people are going to trade. Yeah, you want a really good move. You don't want to trade like 10 times a day. I mean, unless you can if you're that good a trader, but the bulk is going to be like 1 to 3 trades. You want a solid move. If your account's pretty good, anywhere from 500 to 2,000. Um, because the more you trade, the more it's going to be gambling. That's why the morning is the biggest move. Like, how many mornings are there in a day? One. It's not like it just keeps going. I mean, there are moves all day now, but it might not last. You just don't know. So let me take out these lines here on TENX. So unless you have an ultimate 50-cent line, this is where it's been before when I crashed down. And then let's see, we have a move today. What's our move at now? Looks like we have a line right there at 275. 275, 275. All right, so look at the daily. 2019, this went all the way from 7 all the way down. Hugged this like 115 line, came back down. Then we really formed a big move right down to this 50-cent line. See this? That was like the biggest move down in this chart for a while. Then we spiked up in June. And then, we came back, formed the low, was higher, and it came crashed down again, test that. So it's been in a range 275 to 50 cents, but 50 cents hasn't just a little cluster for a few months. So it touched 275, almost touched. In the last, 2 weeks, it's touched it again, and today it did. So we're getting volume spikes to this level. It wants to break this. If we break 275, you have anywhere 3 to 5 range. And you can see right here. See, this came back. See the big volume, then you have less volume. That's consolidation volume. It's hovering. It's like sleeping bear. And then what happens? You wake it up, an explosion. So you don't want this to go below 175 ultimately, or really probably like 225. And what this did today, now this wasn't a good trade to go over. Like if you trade this, it's a horrible move. This is a move if you had it before, maybe you're holding for a swing. Look at this, straight up. This is where I say pointing out the bad moves. Look at this, straight up, and then nothing. Then we come down. Yeah, it just goes sideways. Sometimes it'll fade down. So it's a terrible trade because it's such a strong move and they didn't bring it anywhere. They just faded it. You want a more consolidation move or at least, nice some green candles up on the up days. The monthly in this, it's had 2 reverse splits. Went sideways. Let's see if there's news. Minus 9 million income. I don't see sales. 10 million float. Announces transformative acquisition of PH Precision Med. So that was good news today. But the good news didn't help in your trading unless you had it here you're holding. So sometimes trades, it's not good to trade a stock. So all right, there it is. So interesting stocks today, some really good movers. And we're gonna come back with some more. Please subscribe to Mike Heyman Trades on YouTube. Hit the like button. Trade ideas referral in my YouTube. Mike Frank 007 Twitter. Mike Frank III on TikTok. Mike Frank 98 Instagram and StockTwits. Mike Heyman Trades. I'm trying to set up a Patreon, maybe like $5 a month or that. I'm gonna put on like special charts for like teaching. If you want to join, this little donation. I'll eventually do that maybe this weekend. Like patterns, charts, what to look for. Yeah, 'cause once you do this over and over, remember it's all patterns, all numbers, and stocks do the same thing all the time, just different stocks. All right, that's it. Please subscribe and like.